Are you able to see my video now? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. So previous class we were doing question number 3. Okay, that is a cash flow statement, and then we started the problem and then we stopped in between because of time constraint. Okay, so we are done till net profit after adjusting cash items. So what we have done, we just repeat it. So we have done taken the net profit during the year, it was 1 lakh, and then we added the cash, non-cash and non-operating item, that is depreciation 80,000, that is including plant and machinery and building. And then we have, then there was a written off of goodwill written off 30,000, and loss on sale of plant we got 5,000. So totally we got 1,15,000. So when we added to the profit, we got 2,15,000. And then non-operating and non-cash incomes, we have gone through the question and we have found out there are no incomes. So it is zero income, zero non-operating income. So then we got the net profit after adjusting non-cash items 2,15,000. Okay, students, till now you understood, right? Any doubt? So what are the next step now?
Cash flow from investing activities.
No, one more thing is very important thing you have to do now.
And current liability, increase in current liability and decrease in current
So
asset.
let's check the adjustment for changes in working capital. There is nothing but current assets and current liabilities. So let us open the question bank. Question bank, all of you have the question bank, right? So in that you see question number 3. Question number 3 of cash flow statement. Okay. Yeah. So question number 3. So now look at the current assets and liabilities. You check first what you have to tell me. You have to tell me any increase in current liabilities we have to add and decrease in current assets we have to add. So now check the current liabilities and tell any increase in current liabilities.
Creditors.
Current liabilities increase. Yeah. 150, 1.5 lakhs was earlier. 2020 it is 2,20,000. So how much is increase? Calculate.
70, sir.
70,000.
How much increase?
70,000.
70,000. Next, any other current liabilities increasing?
Bills payable.
Payable. How much it is increase?
1,10,000, sir.
1,10,000. So an increase in bills payable. That is 1,10,000. Any other current liabilities increasing?
No, sir.
No. Then what else we have to see now? Decrease in current assets. We have to see any decrease in current assets. So check the current assets and tell me anything is
Stock,
decreased.
sir. Stock 80,000 increase.
It is increasing. So increasing means you have to deduct. We should not write now, we'll write later. Debtors.
It's increasing.
Debtor is increasing.
Debtor also increasing. Okay. Goodwill is non-current. Plant and machinery, land, building, furniture is also non-current. So there are no any decrease in current. Okay, current liabilities. So how much is the total?
1,80,000.
1,80,000.
Yeah, 1,80,000. So now we have to deduct what? Increase in current
Decrease
assets and
in
decrease in current liabilities.
current.
Okay. So tell me now, any current assets are increasing?
Stock, sir.
Yeah, except cash, you have to check. Stock is increasing how much?
80,000.
Increase in stock 80,000. That is, we have to minus, so it is minus symbol, right? Minus 80,000. Next,
Debtors, sir.
assets decreasing.
Debtors.
Debtors is increasing how much?
50,000.
Increase in debtors 50,000.
50,000.
Yeah. So now you add and then you minus, how much you'll get? 1.8 lakhs minus 1,30,000. How much you'll get?
50,000
Plus or minus?
plus
Plus 50,000. Okay. So now we calculate cash flow from operating activities. How much you'll get? Add 2.15 lakhs plus 50,000.
2,65,000.
2,65,000. Is it inflow or outflow?
Inflow.
inflow.
Why it is inflow?
Positive
It's
answer.
positive, sir.
Yeah, it is positive answer. If it is negative, you write cash outflow. So one activity we have completed. What are the next activity we have to add?
Investing
Flow from
activities.
investing activity.
Yeah, cash flow from investing activities. So what are we going to write in the cash flow from investing activities? We have to check any purchase of fixed assets or financial assets, any purchase they are doing, any sale is there, okay, because of whatever they invested or they received any interest or dividends, we have to check. First, we will check any current asset, any fixed asset they purchased. Please check. Plant and machinery.
Plant and machinery.
Yeah, there's a purchase or any increase or decrease. It is increased by how much?
1,30,000.
30,000.
1,30,000. Next, again, there is one is depreciation is given, and then we have what? One machine they have sold, then one machine they have purchased. So it's better we do the ledger. Okay, let us do the working note. You can leave it here. Now go to the working note and calculate, prepare the plant and machinery account. All of you draw the table, working note. By now you all know how to prepare the ledger. Okay, so we'll do it fast. So what is the opening? All of you prepare the table. Is this ready? Shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So how much is the balance brought down? That is
1
opening
lakh.
balance. 1 lakh. 1 lakh. Next, any purchase or sale is given?
Yes, sir. Both are there.
Yeah. So first we'll take the sale. They have sold the machinery for 15,000. So write down by sale of machine 15,000. Next, we have to calculate any whether it is a loss or profit. How to calculate?
Loss, sir. 5,000 loss, sir.
How you got that 5,000 loss?
Sir, machine value was 40,000 and depreciation is 20,000. And remaining is 20,000, but sales is 15,000. The difference between 20 and 15 is 5,000.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so last class already I already explained. So the value of machine is 40,000 and depreciation you remade, we get 20,000. So the value of asset as on today is 20,000, but it is being sold for 15,000. So your sale value is lesser than the asset value. So the company has incurred the loss. So the loss is 5,000. Did you understand, students? Next, you provide the depreciation. How much he has sold depreciation, he told?
20,000.
20,000. So provide depreciation. Then he has told one purchase is there. So what is the value of the purchase? Plant and machinery.
1,70,000.
1,70,000. So write down to bank account purchase 1,70,000. Okay. Anything else he has given? Any other purchase, any other sale is given?
No, sir.
No? Then write the closing balance. How much is closing balance of plant and machinery in the balance sheet?
2,30,000.
2,30,000. So write down 2,30,000. So calculate the total now.
2,70,000.
2,70,000. And on the debit side, any balance in figure?
2,70,000.
Same, sir.
It is same. So there is no need to prepare no balancing figure. Clear? So there is a one purchase and one sale. Okay, so please remember. Next, we will look at even land and building also, because before we go to the cash flow statement, look at the land and building. When increase or decrease?
Increased.
Increase. How much?
2,20,000.
2,20,000. Any land and building is so purchased or sold?
Purchase, sir. 2,80,000.
2,80,000. That is adjustment number 3 says 2,80,000 land and building is purchased. So is your account tallying?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So that is why you have to prepare the land and building account. All of you prepare the table quickly. Done. 4 rows and 4 columns. A small table, you prepare fast. Done.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So right now, first the balance brought down. How much is that?
2 lakhs.
2 lakhs. Then any depreciation or any purchase or sale is given. So one purchase is there.
Purchase 2,80,000.
Purchase would be 2,80,000. Next,
Sir, depreciation is 60,000 because 20,000 is depreciation on plant and machinery, and remaining will be a depreciation on building, sir.
yeah. So that way you can find out. Even our ledger also, when we tally the ledger, we will come to know that. Okay. Yeah. So now we don't talk about depreciation. Imagine nothing is given there. And then we know the balancing figure. How much is that balance brought down? 4,20,000. So tally the account.
4,80,000.
4,80,000 debit side tally, and credit side
60,000 we should
60,000 is a balancing figure. So what it can be 60,000?
It is
Depreciation, sir.
Yeah, it has to be depreciation because there is no any sale of land and building. Okay, so that is your balancing figure. So now we know that out of this 80,000, 60,000 is depreciation for land and building, and how much? 20,000 for plant and machinery. Clear? Yeah. So now total also become 4,80,000. So now we got 2 purchases. Okay, and one sale is there. So write down now. Come to cash flow statement, investing equity. Investing equity. Write down. So purchase of plant and machinery. How much we got? It is given, no, directly it is given here.
1,70,000.
1,30,000. Yeah. Why am I writing negative answer? Minus 1,30,000.
Cash outflow, sir.
Yeah, when I'm purchasing, cash is going out. So when cash goes out, it is minus. Next, purchase of land and building. How much?
2,80,000.
2,80,000. Then anything else you have tried? Even sale also you have tried. When you are selling, you are going to get the cash. That cash comes under investing activity only. So we have sold 2 assets. Which are those assets we sold? Company has sold.
Plant and machinery.
Plant and machinery is sold. How much is the proceeds from sale of plant and machinery? How much I got write in cash flow statement? How much is cash coming in a very simple word? How much cash comes in because of
15, sir.
selling?
15,000.
15,000
15,000. Yeah, that you right. So proceeds from sale of machinery, 15,000 plus or minus.
plus
Plus
Yeah. Why plus?
inflow of cash.
Inflow. Cash is coming in. Any other machinery sold? Any other assets sold?
furniture, sir, 60,000.
Yeah. Furniture also is sold for 60,000. That is why we didn't prepare the furniture account because it's very clear from the given balance. 70,000 opening balance, closing balance, 20,000. So difference is how much?
60,000.
60,000.
60,000 is a sale value. Okay, write down. So again, proceeds from sale of furniture. How much? Plus or minus?
Plus 60,000.
Plus 60,000. Clear? Any other investments they have done? You can write there. Any investment in equity or debenture, bonds of other company, whether they received any interest or dividends, you can write here. Okay. So total it now, how much you'll get?
Minus 3,75,000.
Minus 3 lakhs.
75,000.
Minus 3,75,000. So what I'm going to write? Net cash inflow or outflow?
Outflow, sir.
Yeah, net cash outflow are used due to investing activity. Okay. Next, third one is cash flow from financing activity. So what else will come here? Whenever the company is issuing any capital like equity or debenture, they are borrowing the loans. So we have tried that. Whenever they are borrowing or issuing, it will be cash inflow. Whenever they're paying dividends, interest because of that, or when they are repurchasing equity stocks, or they are redeeming the debentures or paying the loans, that will be financing activity. So please check now from the question and tell me. First check the capital either increase or decrease.
Increase, sir.
Increase. So that is what, issue or redemption? Issue
Issue
or
of share.
repurchase? It is issue. So write down proceeds from issue of shares. How much?
1,50,000.
1,50,000 plus or minus?
Plus, sir.
Plus, because when you are issuing you will get the cash. Next, what about loan? Whether loan
Increases, sir.
increase or decrease?
Increase, sir.
Increase by
Increase
20,000.
means what? When does it increase?
Loan take.
They have taken extra loan. Okay, write on again, long-term loan borrowed. How much?
20,000.
1 lakh minus 1,20,000. So difference is 20,000. Loan borrowed. Next, anything else? Preference share, debentures, nothing is given. Now you have to see any dividends paid or any interest paid.
Sir, dividend
Total
paid,
assessment?
sir, 80,000.
Yeah, they have paid the dividend of 80,000. So write down dividend paid 80,000 is plus or minus?
Minus
Minus.
Minus. Why?
Because we are
cash
paying the
outflow,
cash.
sir.
Yeah, because cash is going out. Yeah. Clear? Anything else? Okay, so now you calculate total, how much you'll get?
Sir, return of earnings is that.
Yeah, return earnings will not come. That is not the investing activity. Return earnings I'll discuss now why it will not consider. If it is general reserve, you have to consider. Return earnings you should not consider. That too, where you have to consider. If it is a general reserve, in the operating activities, you might have forgotten. In the operating activities, you have to consider. Return earnings you should not consider because return earnings is being retained after paying the tax and interest. Okay, so return earnings should not be considered. If it is a general reserve which is been reserved before paying the dividends, that you can do it. Okay, so anyways, we'll discuss that. Now you calculate and tell me how much you're getting.
90,000
Plus or minus.
plus, sir, cash inflow.
So what I can write it here, cash inflow or outflow?
Inflow from
Inflow.
financing
Yeah,
activities.
net cash inflow from financing activity. Yeah, good. Yeah, I think somebody asked me. Yeah, so return earnings. So return earnings are nothing but general reserves are transferred after paying taxes but before paying dividends. Whereas return earnings are what is left after paying dividends to stockholders. Okay, or stockholders or shareholders. The key difference between two is that reserves are part of return earnings, but return earnings are not part of the reserves. Okay, and return earnings is a part of net income which has left in the business after distributing dividends to the shareholders. Return earnings is equal to business return earnings plus net income minus dividends. That is why we should not consider retained earnings. In the question, if they given us, see, we have seen in the previous questions, they are given general reserve. That reserve we have considered under operating activities. Okay, whether it is increase or decrease, we have seen. If it is increase, we have taken it as the apportionment of profit. But return earnings should not consider because it is the leftover profit, leftover earnings after deducting the dividends also, after paying the dividends. Is it clear? That is not the apportionment of profit. Only if it is apportionment of profit like general reserve, which has been transferred to general reserve, then you should consider. Clear? Any doubt?
Sir, I don't understand, sir. Proposed dividend treated as financial activities,
Which one?
financing activity. Proposed dividend.
No. Proposed dividend also, if it is a proposed dividend, it will come under your operating activities. Under the non-cash item, you have to adjust that. Proposed dividend. And whichever is proposed in the previous year, that will be considered as paid for this year. I think one question we had, right? We have done that proposed dividend. Let me go back. I told you to do homework, right? I think in homework it was there. Yeah, second
Yes, sir.
question.
Second sum.
Yeah, see, proposed dividend for the beginning of the year, 50,000 was there, and end of the year again there is a proposed dividend. So this dividend, what is given here, 65,000, you will be taking under non-cash item or non-operating item. You are going to consider under when you are calculating the operating activities cash flow. And this 50,000 you are taking under financing activity as dividend paid. Clear? I have
Yes,
checked
sir.
it. I have checked your homework. All of you have done,
Yes, sir.
almost all of you have done correct answer. Okay. That is what is proposed dividend. Clear? Understood?
sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir? Yeah.
Understood.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So proposed dividend is different. Return earnings is different. Yeah. Clear? Okay. No doubt. That is why I have not taken the retained earnings. So now what are the next step? Now you add all the three activities and calculate whether net increase or decrease in cash flow. Add all the three activities. One is 2,55,000 operating activity, financing activity minus 3,75,000, financing activity plus 90,000. Add all
Minus 20,000
plus or minus.
minus
Decrease in cash, 20,000.
Yeah. Others, how much you getting?
minus 20,000.
Minus 20,000. So we can write it as a net increase or decrease.
Net
increase.
Net
Decrease.
decrease in cash and cash equivalent. cash and cash equivalent. Okay. Next, what you have to add? We have to add the opening balance. We have
Beginning.
to add the beginning balance of the cash and cash equivalent. How much is given here?
60,000.
60,000. Right on? 60,000. So when I add 6,000, how much are you getting? To minus 20,000
40,000, sir.
40,000.
40,000
plus or minus
plus.
Plus, sir.
plus. So this is your closing balance. Check whether it is correct or no. Did you get 40,000?
Yes, sir. Correct.
Yeah. That means our answer is correct. Clear? Any doubt? Today's problem, what we solved today? Students? Hope you understood. So very, very important is operating equity. If you do this correctly, remaining things are easy. Okay. So this you have to practice. All of you done the homework, right?
Yes,
Some
sir.
student did not do. I told them to remind it to do it. Who was that? Yesterday I sent a WhatsApp message, no? In the corporate finance group. Who was that? Yeah, homework, many of you not done. All of you done? I'll check again. Let us not waste time for that. I'll check again and I'll again reply it. See, whatever homework we are giving, please do it. Okay? And you have to access the LMS every day. Every day you have to log in and check. Okay? Shall we go to the next topic now? If there are no doubts. For question number 3, there is no doubt. 4 already we have done. Next is the next topic is ratio analysis. I told you to write down the formula. All of you written? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
At least did you download the formulas from the question bank?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
If you download it is okay, but please write down the formulas because you have to remember the formulas. You have to by heart the formulas for ratio analysis. Clear? Okay, let me share my screen again. Yeah. So all of you know what is meant by ratio. You might have learned in your degree level or even PUC level, you might have learned. So what I mean by ratio? Anyone quickly? Students, what is ratio? What is ratio? Ratio is just a number which is been which represents the another number, okay, or another variable, okay, or another variable which is given there. That is what is ratio. So this ratio is used for analyzing our financial statement. So ratio analysis refers to the analyzing of various pieces of financial statement or financial information which is given in financial statement of a business. Okay, and they are mainly used by external analyst. Okay, external people or external analysts to determine various aspects of a business, such as its profitability, whether the company is earning profit or not, and the liquidity. What is by liquidity? Anyone? What do you mean by liquidity, students?
So can be converted into the cash easily.
Okay. Anybody else? What do you mean by
Flow of cash, sir.
pardon me?
Flow of cash.
Yeah, that is cash or cash equivalent. So whatever how much cash they have or the cash equivalent, like term deposit and marketable securities of the short term. All these are how much you have. That talks about your liquidity. And then solvency. What do you mean by solvency? Anyone?
Loss.
BCom students or BBM students, you know this. What do you mean by solvency? They say no, some companies are solvent, some companies are insolvent. So what do you mean
The
by
business is
solvency?
under loss.
Who can pay back, sir?
Sir,
Yeah.
ability to pay the liability.
The company which is having ability to pay back its debt, pay back its loans or debt is called a solvent company. Insolvent is where they are unable to pay back their debt. Okay. So when I do a ratio analysis or when I calculate some ratios and then when I analyze it, I will come to know whether your company is solvent or not. So for example, if I am a banker, I will, before giving loan to your company, I will check with your solvency, whether you, how much loan you have taken till now, how much assets you have, how much is your current assets, your fixed assets, whether you're able to repay them in the short time or long time, whether you're able to repay it or not. If it is solvent, then I'll give you the loan. Or else bank will say, no, I cannot give you the loan. That is the main importance of ratio analysis. The banker will do the ratio analysis and he will decide about your profitability, about your liquidity, and about your solvency. Clear? That is the benefit of ratio analysis. So ratio analysis is mainly used for comparison. You can compare with other companies. Okay, you can compare with other company and see whether you are doing better or not. Or even you can compare your own company and check whether you are better than the previous year. When you compare your previous year and the current year, whether you are doing better or not, you can find out. And then you can find out the trend. What do you mean by trend? The ratio at different times I can calculate. I can calculate ratio for 5 years and then I can see the trend, whether the trend is moving upward or going downward. I can find out whether it's going up or coming down. So I can find out the trends by calculating the ratios. Okay. So analysts are really on the current and the past financial statement to obtain data to evaluate the financial performance of a company. And they use the data to determine if the company is financially healthy or not, or is on the upward trend or downward trend, and then do the comparison with the other competing firms. Other competitors, they're going to compare and check whether your company is doing better or not compared to the industry. Okay. So what is the objective of the ratio analysis? One is already I said, it will help you to enable to calculate not only the present earning capacity of the business, but also they can estimate the future earnings. So they can do a forecasting and then help the management to take a very important decision. They can have an overview of all the departments, whatever department they have in your company, and they're going to check the department wise. They can check the efficiency of the firm on the basis of the available financial information, and short term as well as long term solvency of the firm can be determined with the help of a ratio analysis. Okay, so that they can do it, and then they can even do the what inter-firm comparison. As I said earlier, you can compare with your competitors and check. Okay, and it becomes very easy for you to compare, because when you are comparing with your absolute value, it will be very difficult to you compare. So when you prepare a ratio, it will be very easy for you to compare. Okay, and advantages, it helps in financial statement analyzing the financial statement very importantly and clearly without any bias, and simplified accounting figures. You can easily get, if I give you a big balance sheet or a income statement or cash flow statement, it's very difficult for you to analyze and find out about your company. But if you calculate ratios, what happens is very easy for you to analyze. So they become important then when relations are established, say gross profit to sales. As I said earlier, whenever you want to do a ratio analysis, what is very important? What is very important if you want to do a ratio analysis?
Sir, previous year data.
Previous year data. There
And the
has to
current
be a-
year data.
there has to be a relationship between the two items what you're taking. If there is no meaningful relationship between the two items what you're taking, then the ratio whatever you calculate, you may calculate the ratio, you may get some number, but that number will not be useful because that is not going to give any meaning. That is why when you're selecting a ratio, you have to select based on the interrelationship between these two items. For example, I give the year, you can see gross profit and sales. When I calculate gross profit to sales, will there be any meaningful relation? Can I find out? Will the data be useful for me? Is there a relation between sales and gross profit? Anyone?
Yes.
Yes or no? What is the relation?
Gross
So
profit, sir. We can find the gross profit ratio.
Pardon me?
We can find the gross
Oh,
profit
Based
ratio,
on
sir.
sales, we can get a profit.
It is not about calculating something which is missing. No, it's not about that. It is about ratios. When I'm calculating some ratio, will this give any meaning when you calculate that? So when you want to find out when you want to calculate the ratio, you have to, before that, you have to check whether these two items what I'm using, either in the numerator or the denominator, do they have relationship? If there is no relationship, the ratio is waste. Whatever you may calculate. Say for sales and gross profit, for example, if sale increases, what will be the effect on the gross profit?
The gross profit also increase.
Yeah, in the normal condition, the gross profit will also increase. If sales decreases, gross profit also will decrease. So by that I can find out that there is a relationship between sales and gross profit. So whenever I calculate this ratio, it gives me a meaningful value for me to take a decisions, or else the ratio will be useless. Okay, that is why it is called simplified accounting figures. You can calculate the ratios. And third one, it helps in calculating operation efficiency of the business enterprise. Whether the company is operating efficiently or not, we can easily find out when I calculate the turnover ratios, when I calculate profitability ratios. Okay, so we can find out from that. And then facilitates inter-firm comparison. You can already do it whether your company is better than other company or not, and makes inter-firm comparison possible with the help of ratios, and helps in forecasting. That's a very, very important thing of ratio is you can forecast the future values. You can forecast future demand, you can forecast future sales, your future profits and your expenses. Okay, that's the benefit of ratio analysis. And these are the ratios what we have the classification. I think already I shared this with you. You might have gone through it. Okay, so there are 4 classification. One is liquidity ratio, then solvency ratios, activity ratios, and profitability ratios. So under liquidity ratios, we have current ratio and quick ratio. Again, quick ratio has different names. That is called asset test ratio or liquidity ratio. Then we have debt equity ratio under solvency. Sorry, the spelling mistake is there. We'll rectify that later. Total asset to debt ratio, proprietary ratio, interest coverage ratio, then equity ratio, stock turnover ratio, debtor turnover ratio, creditor turnover ratio, fixed asset turnover ratio, then working capital turnover ratio. And then profitability ratio, we have gross profit ratio, net profit ratio, operating ratio, return profit ratio, earning per share, price earning ratio, and dividend payout ratio. So this is a broader classification of the ratios. Okay, students, this is what I just wanted to give an introduction before we go to the numbers. Is it clear? Did you understand? Any doubt? You understand the ratios and the objectives of ratios and the benefit of ratio analysis? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we have a couple of problems on ratios. We will slowly do it, but I recommend all of you to please go through the formulas. Please practice the formulas. Please bahut it and practice the formulas. Okay. Or you can make one chart and you can put it in your chart and please look at that every day. Okay. Because one question from ratio analysis is mandatory for your midterm exam as well as your end trimester final exam. Clear? Understood? Yes, no, no
Yes,
reply.
sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we will do some problems. We have some questions. So we'll do question number 3. Can someone read question number 3? Anyone?
Calculate current asset, liquid asset, current liability. When current ratio is 2.5, liquidity ratio is 1.5, stock rupees 67,500, prepaid expense rupees 2,500.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Rima. Let me open the spreadsheet. So first of all, you write down whatever is given in the question. And then we have to try to find out whatever is the question is asking you to calculate. Okay. So this is your question number 3, right? Yeah. Yeah. So first of all, write down what all is given. So what is given there? Current ratio is given. Write down. Current ratio, how much is given? 2.5:1. Okay. And then liquidity ratio is given 1.5. Write down. Liquidity ratio 1.5:1. 1 is not given, so it is understood that. Okay. That means the denominator is 1. And then stock is given how much?
160,000.
67,500. Then prepaid expense
2,500, sir.
2,500 is prepaid expense. So what are you supposed to calculate now? CA. What is by CA?
Current assets,
Current assets. Then CL, current liability, and what is the link?
liquid assets.
Liquid assets. Okay. We have to calculate current asset, liquid assets, and current liability. Okay. So using the ratios, which ratio can you use now? I already shared you yesterday the list of formulas, the ratios. All of you have that, right? The PDF.
Yes, sir.
So which ratio will use?
Current
I need to
ratio.
calculate current
Ratio.
asset, current liability, and current assets. Sorry, quick assets. Any idea how to solve this? First, we will do whatever is given, we will write down first. Okay. So first write down the current ratio. What is the current ratio formula? Current assets divided by current liability. So current ratio, I know how much is that current ratio? The
2.5:1.
2.5:1. That is nothing but 2.5 divided by 1. Okay. So we'll write it as x because I need the amount value. Write it as 2.5x, and C I don't know, write as it is, and liability is 1x. That is your current liability. Okay. So 2.5 is given and 2.1 is given. I need the value of amount, so multiply by x. So 2.5x is current asset and 1x is current liability. So when I found out the value of x, I can get the current assets and current liabilities. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So what I can find out is, hence from this current asset is 2.5x and current liability is 1x. So I got the clue now. When I get the value of x, I can find out the current assets and current liability. Next, liquid asset. Which formula you use for that? Liquid asset. So liquidity ratio is given. How much he has given? Liquid ratio 1.5:1. That means 1.5x divided by 1x. Write down, substitute that. 1.5x, or that means 1.5x is liquid asset and 1x is liquid liabilities. Correct? Any doubt in this? What are written now? I have just taken the formulas and I just written whatever I know or whatever is given in the question. Clear? But now the thing is how to calculate the x value. Can someone tell me? And any other data he has given. He has given some data here. Can I use this data? Stock and prepaid expense. Where can I use this data? In which formula?
Current ratio, sir.
Yeah. Can you see this formulas I said yesterday? So quick asset means what? Current assets minus stock plus prepaid expense. I know stock, I know prepaid expense, I know quick assets. How much is quick assets? Quick assets. Quick asset is 1.5x. Okay. I can find out from this formula the what? The current assets I can find out. So let us substitute now. I'm taking only the current assets. That means the numerator only I'm taking, not the denominator of the formula. So I know that current liquid assets or current as quick assets, nothing but current assets minus stock plus prepaid expense. Now whatever I know, let us substitute. So I know how much is stock. Stock I know 67,500, prepaid expense 2.5, and liquid assets how much? Liquid asset is this one. Liquid asset is 1.5x. Let us substitute now. 1.5x is equal to current asset also I know. How much is current asset? 2.5x. So 2.5x are taken from there. And then stock I know 67,500, prepaid expense 2,500. Now simplify further. Now bring the minus 67,500 plus 2,500 to the left hand side and 1.5x take it to the right hand side. How much you'll get? When you add 67,500 plus 2,500, how much you'll get?
70,000.
70,000. Okay. Next. 2.5x minus 1.5x. How many x you'll get? 2.5
1x.
minus 1.5x.
X.
1x.
Yes.
Okay, it is 1x or nothing but x. 1x will get. So x is how much now?
70,000.
70,000. Is it clear? So once I get the x, I can find out whatever is there, whatever is given, I can find out. So first let us calculate current asset. How much is current asset? 2.5x. So 2.5 into 70,000, you calculate how much you'll get?
1,75,000.
1,75,000. Next, current liability. What is the current liability value? Current liability is 1x. That is 1 into 70,000. How much will get?
70,000, sir.
70,000. That is 1x is equal to 1 into 70,000. I got 70,000. Next, what you have to find out? Liquid asset. Liquid asset is how much? 1.5x. So 1.5 into 70,000. Multiply
1,05,000.
1,05,000. Okay. So I have calculated current asset, current liability, and liquid asset or quick asset. Quick asset or current liquid asset, both are same. Understood how to calculate?
Yes,
Or
sir.
no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So question number 2 is similar to this. Can you do it like this? Question number 2.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what is question number 2? What is given? Current liability is given there. So earlier he has not given anything. Actually, it's given here. That is easy actually. 3 lakhs is given. Current ratio is given 3.1. quick or acid test ratio is given 1.1. What do you have to calculate? Value of stock. Very simple. So please do it as homework. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Now we'll go to next question. That is question number 1. Students, are you able to understand, or am I going fast, or please give me some feedback? You're able to follow what I'm teaching?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Only thing is, when you want to solve the ratio analysis for problems, you have to be thorough with all the ratios. Then only you can find out, okay, what ratio can I use here? What ratio can I use there? Okay. So your mind will tell automatically. So question number 1, can somebody read for us? GP is gross profit. Okay. Anyone?
If gross profit is 25%, sales rupees 1 lakh, and average stock is 1,60,000, calculate stock turnover ratio.
Okay. So gross profit is 25%. It's only percentage, amount is not given. Sales, I know the amount 1 lakh. Average stock, I know 1.6 lakhs. And what do you calculate? Stock turnover ratio. So what is the formula for stock turnover ratio? Anyone?
COGS
Cost of
divided
goods
by
sold.
average cost, average
Yeah.
stock.
Stock turnover ratio. Where is that? Yeah. Stock turnover ratio. What is the formula? Cost of goods sold divided by average
Average
stock or closing stock you can take. If average stock is not available, you can take the closing stock. Okay. So how much is COGS? Cost of goods sold?
Sir, 1 lakh minus 25,000. That is 75,000.
Yeah. How you got that?
The total
Sales
sales
minus GP.
and GP is 25%.
So how much is the GP amount?
Sir, 1 lakh into 25 divided by 100 is equal to 25,000. Then 1 lakh minus 25,000 is equal to 75,000.
Yeah. So this question is very easy. If you calculate COGS, you can do the calculation because average stock is given directly. Nothing to worry about the average stock. Only thing is you have to calculate COGS from the given data. Okay. So I know that the formula is cost of goods sold divided by average stock, and I know that COGS is equal to sales minus GP. Or another way of writing is sales is equal to COGS minus gross profit. Clear? So COGS I don't know, but I know sales. Sales will be always how much percentage? Sales will be always 100%. If sales is 100% and GP is how much?
25%.
25, sir.
25%.
25%. So how much will be COGS percentage? That is 100 minus 25.
75%.
75. Yeah. So 100 minus 25 is 75. So I know COGS is 75%, sales 100 and GP is 25. Among these three variables, do you know any value of any one of the variable?
Sales we know, sir. 1 lakh.
Sales,
If I know one variable, I can just do a cross multiplication and I can find out the unknown variable. That's the beauty of cross multiplication. So COGS I don't know, but sales I know 1 lakh, GP also I don't know. So we'll just do cross multiplication. How will you do? There is 1 lakh, you just take the right hand side one, don't take the left hand side. So if 100% is 1 lakh, how much is 25%? Okay, so calculate. If 100% is 1 lakh, 25% is how much? So cross multiply 1 lakh in 25
25,000.
100. How much will get?
25,000.
25,000. Clear? So I know now the what is that? GP is 25,000. I know 1 lakh is sales. So how much will be cost of goods sold now?
75,000.
Yeah. So I have found out the GP is 25,000. So minus that, how much will get? 75,000. Clear? To understand this working note, any doubt?
No,
Is
sir.
it clear or any doubt or you want to explain again? Students?
No, sir.
Yeah. So now I know COGS is 75,000 and GP is 25,000. Extra. Yeah. Now you put in the formula and you will get the stock turnover ratio. So I need COGS. I got it now 75,000. Average stock. How much is average stock given?
1,60,000.
1,60,000. Substitute now. You will get
0.47 times.
0.468.
Yeah, there is somebody is asking how you got 75%. Sneha is asking, yeah. See, 75% how I got is, yeah, I know sales will be always 100%. And GP percentage is given in the question, 25%. So 100 minus 25. Got it, Sneha? 100% is sales will be 100% always. You can take it as 100% directly, and GP is given 25%. So 100 minus 25, I got 75. Sneha, did you understand? Okay. Yeah. So now you can how much is STR, stock turnover ratio?
0.46875, sir.
0.468. Correct.
Yes, sir.
Nothing but you can take it as 0.47.
47 times.
It will be 47 times.
Times.
Yeah. What do you mean by times? Why you are using time? Because it's a turnover.
Turnover.
Yeah. So that means it indicates the speed with which they are going to convert that inventory into sales. So that is 0.47. So here the higher the value is better. Higher the turnover ratio is better for the company. Okay. This is your stock turnover ratio. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So question number 4 is similar to this. Question number 4 is again they given current ratio, liquid ratio, current liability is given, prepaid expense. Prepaid expense is 0. Okay, nothing is given, so it is 0. But you can find out again CA, LA, and stock. So can you do this as homework? Question number 2 and 4 is your homework. That is similar to the question number 3, what we have done. Okay, so question number 4 and 2 is homework. Can you do it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
This Excel I'll immediately upload in LMS. You can even refer this Excel, use this Excel, and then you can prepare. Even video also I'll be uploading in the LMS immediately. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any doubt today's class before we wind up, dear students?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
No doubt.